Hi, everybody. It's Wendy. I wanted to pop in out of nowhere, just came to me to pop in. And I wanted to first thank everybody for all of the awesome birthday wishes that I received yesterday. I did send a thank you to everybody, but I wanted to just say it again. And it really meant a lot to get all of the love thrown back at me. So I'm really super, super grateful about that. But then as I was sitting here thinking about life and sitting on my balcony in the beautiful, beautiful sunny day that I have. Hey, Chad. Sitting here on the beautiful sunny day that we have, I'm sitting on my balcony. I've done everything that I wanted to do today. I got up late. I was relaxing. I had the food that I wanted. I've just been chilling. So that's what I wanted to do today. And then I was thinking about, how often do we really get to do that? And I was thinking about what happened to me this summer when I started to, hey, line sister, when I started to think about the concept, and I was introduced to the concept of being versus doing, and how in this society in 2017, we are not taught to be so much as we are taught to do everything. It's like we are supposed to just go, 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 go. And when do we really have time to sit back and be able to relax and do the things that we want to do, except for when we take a little bit of time off for vacation? So the being versus doing, that didn't even used to ring a bell for me. Hey, Brian. That didn't even ring a bell for me at first. Somebody told me that I could still have the same outcome and still have the same success, still be able to pay my mortgage and still be able to have the foods I like and travel and have fun and not do so much. I was like, yeah, right. You like that one, Brian? I was like, yeah, right. That's not possible. But as I really started to think about it and started to take the time to learn and sit with what that really meant for me, then I was like, hey, you can. So now let's think about it. In our society, we're taught to hustle, to grind, no pain, no gain. And we kind of like pat ourselves on the back if we are working harder than the next man. We kind of like think we're better than the next person if we have more jobs than them. So we become martyrs almost, like I got 3 jobs, so I'm doing better than you and I am cool. Hey, Brandon, how you doing? And Vigola's birthday's coming up, so in advance, happy birthday coming up. So anyway, I started to really think about that. Like, if I'm hustling and if I'm grinding, how much of my life am I really enjoying? If I'm hustling and if I'm grinding and if I'm on my puffy, no sleep, how healthy am I? Am I even healthy? So I started to really think about that, and I started to like try to put that into practice, because if anybody knows me, you will know that I've done production since I got out of college. And I'm sorry about the trucks making all the noise out here, but I am sitting outside here in nature, so you will hear anything. But how many of you, know the concept? You gotta go hard at it. You gotta do it better than anybody else. You gotta hustle, hustle, hustle. You can't sleep. If sleep is for suckers. Now, I mean, really. Does that even make sense? If you really start to think about it, is sleep really for suckers? Don't you feel better after you've had a great nap? Don't you feel better after you've had some sleep and given your body a rest? So I started to think, like, for myself, I don't want to be hustling and grinding on the real. I don't want to be wearing myself thin. I don't want to be grinding. I do not want to be sitting in this DC traffic, straight up, going from one side of town to the next, running to meetings and doing all these things. How really healthy is that for me? And so I decided to become an entrepreneur this year. And You know, that's what entrepreneurs do. They hustle, 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 and they grind, grind, grind. But how much, hey, Line Sister, hey, both Line Sisters, Rand and Keisha, I was wondering how much really goes my way if I try to hustle and grind. So going back, hey, LA, how you doing? So going back, I started to think about myself as a production person. Out of college, I came out being in production. I have done events, whether it was for the Apollo Theater in Harlem, New York, whether it was for other music organizations, both for teachers and professionals, whether I worked for 2 of the largest corporate event companies in the Washington, D.C. area. Hey, Lila. So I've done all that. And I started to think like I was groomed to do production. I was groomed to go down a production list. I was groomed to know the who, what, where, why, when, how. If I didn't know those things, then I didn't feel like things were okay. Hey, Cousin George. So that goes against the being versus doing, goes against everything that I was trained to do as a production person. It goes against everything that I was trained to think about as I participated in media. You know, I came up with Puffy, so that whole don't sleep, hustle, grind thing was a part of, I guess, like the Generation X mantra. You know what I'm saying? That's what we did. And as I'm getting older, I realized that I also always didn't have fun doing it. I mean, I don't know, you might be having fun doing it. I didn't always have fun doing it. I feel like I missed a lot of stuff. I missed a lot of time with my daughter. Like when I used to work this full service event planning company when my daughter was like 2. And I used to have to work all night. I would work during the day, then I wouldn't finish it, and then I would have to come home and do it. And one night she said to me, and she was only 2, like she didn't even really have great language, but she was like, when I popped my computer open to just get back to it, she said, "No pewter, mommy." And I was like, dang. And that's when I knew that I had to put myself in a situation that would allow me to have more flexibility, because at that point I was a 24-hour call. Somebody could be coming into an airport and I needed to be able to manage the car to pick them up if I wasn't there to pick them up or whatever. So the concept of hustle and grind is a little overrated, and the concept of being versus doing, thank you, Deron, the concept of being versus doing, what I'm realizing is that it takes practice. If you have never heard the concept before, the high level is that you do what you can do. You control the pieces that you can control, and you let God and the universe or whoever you believe in handle the rest. And it's up to you to tap into your faith to know that it's going to be okay, that it's going to work out even way better than you thought it was going to be, and that you're okay to rest. Now, y'all know, y'all don't do that. And I didn't do that either. I'm probably like 40, 60% on any given day of trying to be versus do, because it's kind of difficult. And, you know, this is what you do. If you're hustling, if you're grinding, if you're getting up super early, because I know you're trying to go to the gym in the morning before you go to work, or then you come home and do it at night, you got to get the kids ready, you got to get yourself ready. How much time can you really take to sit and to pray and to meditate? Because what I'm learning in the being versus the doing is that in the being, you take actionable, inspired action. You only take the action that comes right to the guts. So your head is not really the first place where you get information. Your gut, your belly is really the first place that you get information. And we're taught that it's all brain power. You just struggle through it, you grind through it, you push through it, you just no pain, no gain. Please stop believing that right now. If you still believe that, please just say, Wendy told you, consider a different option, okay? Consider that You listen to your gut. You take the time to listen to your gut, and your gut really always tells us the right thing. So you ever go somewhere and you just don't really feel good about it, your belly's telling you something, or when you know you have to have that really crazy conversation or uncomfortable situation with somebody, doesn't your like belly do a little something first? When you're about to have to do something that is a little creepy or a little scary or outside of your comfort zone, don't you do that first? On the converse, if you walk past that guy who is so cute, or when you see your husband and he walks past you and he might give you a little nudge or whatever, doesn't your belly just do that flip? When you hear him call on the phone, or when you see his name pop up on the caller ID, don't you be like, ah, yeah, you feel that little thing in the gut. So it's the gut. That's where the inspired action comes from. So this is the being versus the doing. So you only do when you get the inspired action, but you only get the inspired action once you've given yourself a chance to sit down and to pray and to meditate. Usually it's best in the morning, which is just my little unsolicited 2 cents. And by the way, I know this is all unsolicited 2 cents. I'm just telling you what I just had an inspired action sitting out here on my deck, enjoying this beautiful sunshine on a Friday, doing the shit that I wanted to do all day. And I said, hey, let me share. So that's why I'm sharing. So you could take it, you could leave it, but I feel like it's really helped me move like exponentially forward in the things that I'm doing. So if we're hustling and if we're grinding, we're not taking the time to take care of ourselves and to listen to ourselves, to listen to our gut. Then we're not getting the inspired action. Then we just out here willy-nilly making all kinds of decisions, doing all types of things, and some of it is connecting and some of it's not. You know, when they say work harder, not smarter, I'm feeling like I'm learning that this is a way to work harder, not smarter, is to only act on the inspired action that comes from my gut, because I'm trying to learn how to sit, get quiet, take the time to listen to myself and say, Wendy, does that really make sense? Or Wendy, does that sound good? Or how does that feel? Okay, so I think a lot of times we're out here hustling and grinding because we think that's the only way that our needs would be met. And please believe I was that person. I thought the only way that I could get things done, get the food on the table, get the mortgage paid and all those things, if I was out here hustling and grinding, missing PTA meetings and doing all those types of things. And I realized now that it's not. I have made so many strides forward just in like the last 6 months, which is when I was introduced to the concept. Now, I think we all kind of know the concept. If you have a Christian foundation, you know, take one step and let God do the rest. It's the same thing. It's just a more expanded version of it, where you do the things that you feel good doing, you release the control, and then you let it go, and you're not tied to the outcome. Now, that's where I used to get tripped up, is trying to make it be exactly how I wanted it to be. And if it wasn't exactly how I wanted it to be, hey Rhonda, hey Stacy, then that means it wasn't working. Then that means it wasn't cool, and that means it wasn't cool, and then I would be upset. And I would be feeling like I did something wrong. So just letting it go. And on my blog from when I was, so that's how I manifested the Thailand trip. I sort of just let it go. And then when I was there for 2 weeks, I just went wherever, whenever, inspired action. I would just listen to what I wanted to do, not being tied up, not being like rigid, which was my normal way to be stiff, rigid, and just, it has to be like this. I was straight up in the box. So then I peeked up out of that box like in the last 5 years, and now I blew that box top off now, and my whole life has changed. And these are just some of the little things that have happened. So I don't want to keep you long. I know it's Friday. Y'all got stuff to do. I want to continue to get my vitamin D in, to get my brain decalcified, and get my eyes, you know, I'm looking across, because you guys see I got these glasses on. So this is another being versus doing. Win-Win wasn't trying to wear no reading glasses. They told me I needed reading glasses. I was like, nah. And yeah. I got these reading glasses. But what you can do is continue to look at distances, and you'll strengthen your eyes. So that's what I want to do when I get off of here. I'm going to strengthen my eyes, and so I don't have to wear these glasses. So review. When you get quiet and when you take the time to pray and meditate, pray to whoever makes you feel good. When you take that time, you will ask for wisdom, ask for protection, ask for guidance, ask for all of those things, and I swear it will just come. We don't get because we don't ask. I have learned that. So that's what I ask for. And to be honest, on a day-to-day basis, I only ask for things that I am ready for in any moment. Because have you ever gotten something that you weren't ready for? Way too much to handle. Usually the outcome didn't come the way that we wanted to, and it probably didn't work out for you too well, right? So that's the thing. Take the time, take the time to love yourself, to listen to yourself, be patient with yourself, trust your gut, trust your instinct, trust what you're hearing, trust it. We're taught not to trust ourselves. We were born learning how to trust ourselves. You ever see little babies just out here chilling and lamping and playing and laughing and having a ball? But then we teach them as they get older, don't do this, don't do that, stop doing this, stop doing that. And then they lose the confidence in themselves. So I am gaining my confidence back. I was born brilliant. We were all born brilliant. I was born with all of the information that I need to get me to the level that I need to be at. And so I'm going to start tapping into that even more and more. You got your inspired action. You only take that action, and then you just let it go. And then you watch what happens. And seriously, if it really is your gut that you allowed to talk to you, and you took that action, and you ain't gonna be hustling and grinding, and you ain't gonna be tired, and your shoulders aren't gonna be stiff, and you're not gonna be upset, and you're gonna be feeling no tension, then you know that that's the right thing. If you get the little flip in your belly, then you know that's it. And you're on the right path, and you can trust it, and it'll be okay. And I'm talking to myself too, just FYI, okay? So try that. Let me know what you think about it. Whenever you find yourself white knuckling, trying to make it happen, trying to hustle and grind it, just go back and say, am I being or am I doing? And then give yourself like 3 breaths. Let me sit here and just be for a second. Let me just be Wendy for a minute and regroup and start this lesson all over again. So I hope that makes sense. I would love to hear how it works out for you. I mean, we're all in here together trying to figure it out. And, I believe that you really don't have to travail that hard to have an awesome life. I really don't feel like you have to it has to be so hard. I don't think we were born to be here and for shit to be so hard. I just don't. I believe that we were born for a reason, and that we were born for this time. Like, this is the most amazing time to be alive. And I believe that we all have our own gifts, and we all have our own path, and everybody's path is not the same, and everything won't work for everybody. But I do believe there are universal principles, and I believe that the being versus doing is the universal principle. I believe that that's faith. So whether you're Christian or Muslim or any of the other major or smaller spiritual paths that people are on, you're probably taught the same thing. So I hope, and it is my intention, that I have inspired, connected, or empowered you. That's what I feel like I was born to do. I hope I've inspired you to think about things in a new way. I hope I've encouraged you to connect with your heart, to see if where you are right now is really where you want to be, not where you should be, but where you want to be. Just think about that. And then I hope that I've empowered you to think differently and to try this concept for yourself. And I would really love to get your feedback. Like, I would love to hear what you think about the being versus the doing. And if you started it tomorrow, start it today. Hey, it's 3:00, 3:30 on Friday. Why not start today? the next hour or two, just think about, as each thing comes up, how you're making the decision. Have you decided? Because at the end of the day, it's really all a decision. We have free will. We have a choice. We have a choice whether to hustle and grind it out, and we have a choice to just do the best we can, to take the action, listen for it, act on it, and then just relax and be in it. So we have the choice. So I pray that you choose what's best for you. And I pray that it all works out. And I'm confident that this would be an awesome way to just give yourself a little bit of more peace. So that's it for me. I'd love to hear if you decide to do it, how that works out for you. And again, thank you for all of the birthday love. It was so awesome getting all the calls and texts and Facebook messages and all these pictures and everything. I had the best day. You want to know what I did? I ate pizza. I ain't supposed to eat pizza because I'm gluten intolerant and I don't even eat dairy. But I'm Jersey girl still. So sometimes us Jersey girls still just need a piece of good old pizza. So that's what I did. I went, took the Sid to eat some pizza. Then I came home. I put on my onesie. I sat on my couch. I watched Queen Sugar. I drank some sangria. And I'm telling you, probably this much took me all the way down. I woke up at 4:44 on my couch this morning like, oh, snap. That's how I spent the remainder of my birthday. And you know what? I was totally content. So I appreciate you taking the time to hear me in my unsolicited talk. And I hope that you have an awesome weekend. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Please check out my blog at FromJerseyToMe.com. Take care.